Alright, hello everybody. My name is Seth Goshorn. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the tutoring experience I had this year at Northside. First of all, we were assigned a student. My student's name was Ian. He's a 4th grader at Northside. He's slightly autistic, and he loves John Deere tractors. The goal of this whole tutoring thing was to try to help Ian increase his reading level, and also I wanted to be able to build a relationship with him so he'd feel comfortable with me and also be willing to miss part of his recess to come and work on reading, which is something most kids wouldn't want to do. The big plan was to be able to get to know Ian, make him comfortable with me, and to practice some of the methods that we were learning in Dr. Martin's literacy class. So on the first day, we had to write a letter that I gave to Ian to give to his parents, and I let him read it also. It was basically just talking about myself, that I'm an education major at Mount Union, I play football, things I enjoy, kind of let him know me a little bit, and then I also ask him the same questions, try to get to know him a little bit better. How much should you be doing? That's kind of like the question that was really tough to figure out, because he was already having reading class during the day, and this was like during his recess time, so it was always like a really fine line that I had to walk. I didn't want him to make it feel like he was doing a ton of work, but I also wanted it to be productive, so that was one of the struggles that we faced. The first book that we read together was on the second day that we met, and it was about electricity, because that's also something Ian's really into. He loves engineering and all types of stuff like that. So I went to the library and got several books. One of them was about John Deere, one of them was about electricity, and a couple other ones, and he ended up choosing the electricity one to read first. So we were reading it, and at the end I had some questions that I wrote out before, and I would have him answer those at the end of each of our little sessions while we were reading that book, and just to kind of get a feel for where he was with his reading and whatnot. I was able to see his previous reading scores on tests and kind of get to see like what he struggled with, whether it was comprehension or writing and whatnot. So that was really helpful, and I'm looking forward to seeing his results now that I've gotten to work with him. Even though it hasn't been a lot, I would hope that there would still be slight improvements in those areas. The next book that we read together was a John Deere book, which Ian, of course, loved since he's such an avid John Deere fan. He would always wear John Deere clothes like every day. It was hilarious. But we would read these books, and he would like tell me about the tractors, things that weren't even in the books that he had just known from prior knowledge, and it was really impressive. And at the end of this one, I had him drawing. He drew a picture of his favorite type of John Deere tractor, and then he also had a little summary about what we had read. I put these clothes on here because, like I said, I don't think there was a day that I went to tutor Ian that he did not have something John Deere on, whether it was a shirt or sweatpants. He had stuff that was John Deere that I didn't even know they made that was John Deere. This is a John Deere lawnmower because I couldn't find a picture of a tractor that I liked. But Ian was always talking about how he wants to be able to create things whenever he gets older and become an engineer. So this was something that he would oftentimes draw John Deere's and put ways that he could make them better and how this would help with that. And it was really interesting to see how his mind worked. The next book that we read after the John Deere book was about a dog, and Ian liked that. He said he didn't have any pets, but this was something that was interesting to him because he probably wants a dog. We also answered questions about the book after we were done, like we did each time, and we worked on some decoding, which is something he said that he did in his normal language arts class, so I didn't want to do too much with him and really burn him out on it or make him not want to come and read with me, so I kind of like only did that a few times. The next thing was Ian had this idea that we should try to make a kite, so the first day I was like, how am I going to make this work so it's not just fun but it's also educational? So we looked up directions for a kite, and I had Ian write down his own directions of how he would build a kite on the first day. And then the next day I went to the store, I bought the dowel rods and the garbage bags and all that, and we began. So we went outside to try to fly the kite, and it wasn't windy like at all. So Ian basically just ended up running around with the kite, and it was still really fun, and it worked really well. I was really surprised, but the next time I went, we actually were able to go outside and fly the kite, and it was actually decently windy, so that was really fun. And then it's not goodbye, it's see you later. This is Ian and I after we built the kite, and I actually talked to his mom, and I'm going to be continuing to tutor him over the summer. Thanks for watching.